Yo, what's up YouTube world? Welcome back to another video. Alright everyone, so first we're going to start by debulking and prepping our foundation. Alright, so first we're going to start by debulking our area using the number 3 guard all around. Okay, so a technique that I like to use by having your clipper on one hand and a comb on the other hand, and as you comb down and you use your clipper to eat up that hair in one motion, you remove all that extra bulk, as you can see here. Alright guys, so we're going to switch it up. I've been using this new technique. I feel like it has been helping me to speed up my haircuts from 10 to 15 minutes depending on the style of the person. Alright, so first we're going to begin by creating our first guideline with the number lever open, no guard, and we're going to be doing a low fade. Alright, so now with our number 1 guard open, we're going to be going up about 2 fingers width from our first guideline. Alright, so now with my Oster's Octane using the 5-0 blade, we're going to start to clean the bottom portion of this haircut. Now keep in mind, on this low fade I use the 5-0s, which is going to be the baldness of the haircut on the nape area and on the taper area. I'm not going behind the ear. Now using my shavers, I'm going to be cleaning the bottom portion of this haircut, making sure I don't go too high up and stay underneath the 5-0s. So now with my trimmers, I'm going to be blending in from the shaver to the 5-0s, just making sure everything's nice and smooth. Alright, so now that my foundation is prepped, we're going to start to blend everything together. So using my Wahl Seniors 1919s with our blade open, we're going to start to blend in the bottom portion of the fade. So we're going to be fading with our blade open, and then we're going to be closing the lever to erase the bottom line. On the back of the ear, I did not use the 5-0 blade, just for the fact being that his hair density is a lot lighter there. If I would have gone around the ear, it would have made the fade higher. And for this client, it's the first time that I cut his hair. He normally gets a taper, but I convinced him to try something different, and he didn't want something too drastic, so we ended up going with the low fade, which I feel like it did him good. Alright, so now with my half guard open, we're going to be blending in the hair. Remember, whenever you work your way up, it's fully open, and as you work your way down, you close the lever as needed. Wherever you see any dark areas, you'll start to close it or start to open it. Remember, it does not have to be perfect. At the end of the haircut, you could always go back and do a little bit of that detail work. Alright, so now with our number 1.5 guard open, we're going to work that middle section that was left behind in between the 1.5 and the 3 guard. And as you can tell, the gradients start to become lighter, and we just have to work little by little to make sure it gets a nice even proportion fade. Alright, so now with our number 1 guard open, we're going to connect the rest of the fade by blending in any dark spots left behind by closing and opening the lever and using our corners. Alright, so now with my trimmers, we're going to clean up that C-cup area, and he's not going to get a front lineup. Most of the people out here, for some reason, do not get lineups. I really miss doing those sharp lineups. Now we're going to be doing trimmer over comb to smooth in the rest of the haircut. I like to use a trimmer on some occasions, since I feel like it does more of a detail work, and just to remove the exact hair that I need it to without removing too much, I feel like it does a better job than the clipper. Alright, so if you have seen my past videos, you know I don't use this technique to fade, but it's always good to diversify and to change it up from time to time. I do feel with this technique, it has made it easier to connect my guidelines. Since you're not leaving a harsh line, it's a lot quicker to fade in. Alright, so we're going to be following the same steps on this side. Now remember that consistency will lead to execution, so it's just a matter of time for perfection to come into play. So you have to be consistent with your plan and whatever roadmap you have of way of fading. There's so many different ways to fade. I think there's no such thing as the way to fade. There's just so many different ways to fade. It's just a matter of practicing different ones and seeing which one you like the most. It's like everything else you do, you have to take baby steps, little by little. It'll get easier, especially if you're just starting off. Just have a lot of patience, be consistent, stay strong, push through it, and don't give up. Alright, so something that has always helped me is brush one, fade one. So every time you're fading, you're making sure you clean off that excess. That way you have full visibility of what you're doing and you're able to see exactly what hair you are cutting. Okay, so this is the first time that I cut this client, and that's why it's very important to have a consultation to make sure what they want. It's always good to ask questions, and that way you're both on the same page. A problem that I think we all have at the beginning is not asking enough questions, not knowing exactly what they want, whether it's by them telling you, expressing, or showing a picture. It just makes it a lot easier, because your definition of a nice haircut and their definition of a nice haircut could mean two different things. For you, it could be a bald fade, buzz fade with a 0 on the sides, and for him it might be just a taper, something not too crazy. Alright, so I got these Babyliss premium guards not too long ago. I definitely think they're better than the Wahl premium guards. I feel like they cut more hair, if that makes any sense. The guards feed more hair to the clipper, so therefore the times that you have to go over the hair is less time, since it cuts more hair. So it's always good to invest in your career, invest in everything that you do, and it's also a motivator. If you've been cutting hair for a long time and you get some new guards, you get a new clipper, it definitely empowers you to be at the shop and be more motivated. Alright, so now back to this haircut. We're going to be doing trimmer over comb and just doing the detail work, removing any extra hair that we see, just to perfect it as much as possible. Remember, when you're using your comb, you're using it at a 45-degree angle. It's almost floating off the ridge of the hair, just to make sure you don't cut too much. And remember, there's different ways to section your fade. You could either work from left to back, right to back, or you could section it in 3 parts, do both of the sides, and then leave the back side at the end, just the way that I'm doing it right now. I faded the left and then the right, and I'm connecting the back. I like to switch it from time to time, but in this occasion I'm doing it like this. It just makes it a lot easier to record the haircut, because I don't have to move the chair too much. It's just easier to stay in one place. But if I'm not recording the haircut, then I'll just definitely do the left to the back, the right to the back, and we're done. But whatever works for you at the end of the day is what matters, whatever's easier. But yeah, let's go ahead and continue this hair. By the way, I don't think I have presented myself. I don't know if anyone out there knows my name. My name is David. I go by SpiffyFadez. You could find me on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and of course on YouTube as SpiffyFadez with the Z at the end. And welcome to my channel. I'm hoping to do more videos, more content for you guys. It just hasn't been as easy as I would like it to be, since I'm not in a shop full time right now. But hopefully soon I'll be able to do that. And I hope to drop a video soon, just to show you guys my barbering career for the past 12 years since I started to where I'm at right now. Drop a comment down below to see where you're located. It'll be pretty cool to know, whoever's watching this video, where you're from. But let's go ahead and continue this haircut. Alright, so now for some shear work. I just parted the hair in 3 sections, the middle and the sides. So first I'm going to be taking off about 1.5 inches, 2 inches in the middle, and then I'm going to use that as a guideline to cut the other 2 sides. Alright, so I will be working in vertical sections. It does not have to be perfect, since his hairstyle is a little bit more messy, more of a crop top. So That's the reason why I'm working like this. Alright, so right here in the crown area, make sure you work at a 90-degree angle so you don't cut too much hair and it just has a smooth transition. Okay, so now I'm going to be working my horizontal sections, doing a little bit of point cutting just to add a little bit more texture to this crop top. Alright, so now with my 4-inch shears, I will be going across each side, removing a little bit of hair and to add a little bit more texture to this crop top. Alright, so make sure the hair is completely dry so it gives it a more of a textured look for this crop top. You have to always make sure the hair is completely dry before you add any type of product. Alright, so now I'm going to be adding some of that texture powder in between the hair so it gives you that texture that I'm looking for. YouTube. Alright, so this is the final result. It came out pretty clean. I know I could have done a little bit better on detailing. It's just that this haircut, I had clients waiting and I couldn't detail as much as I wanted to, but overall for the time I had to cut the hair, I think it came out really nice. And now with my Babyliss massager, we're going to give him a nice massage so he could relax and that way he could forget about all his stress he had today. And let's go. See you next time. Peace.